Hello, today we're going to get your wig ready to wear. Hello, so today we're going to do something different. Jessie and I are switching places. She is running all of the production for this video and I am going to do one of her tutorials, well, multiple tutorials combined into one. Today we're going to be getting Catherine ready to wear. That means that we are going to pluck her, we're going to cut the lace, and we're going to conceal the knots. Something simple, not too crazy. Jessie said that I watch all of her videos, therefore I should be able to do this. And I said, yeah, sure, I probably could. And then she said, we should do a video on that, and then I'm here. But before we begin this video, if you're new to this channel, it's usually not me, it's Jessie. She will be in another video, she's cool. But if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, post a link, give a high five, thumbs up, all that stuff. And now let's get back to the video. So the things that you're going to need for this video are a wig, of course. If you have a wig head, that would be great. If don't, grab someone, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, mother, cousin, friend. They would help you do this. We're gonna need some pins, hair pins. These are hair pins, right? These are hair pins?
I mean, those are like clips to
hair clips. Hair clips? Hair clips to hold the hair up. We're gonna need some scissors. We're gonna need a nice little comb to make sure we get the hair out the way. A little makeup brush for the concealer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And tweezers. So when we pluck that line, ooh, you're gonna pluck it. Okay. So let's start with combing the hair to get it out the way so you can see what you're working with. We're going to come over here. We're just gonna comb it back. Nothing crazy. We're just combing the hair. Looks pretty good. The next stage is we're going to use some of these pins right here and we're going to hold down the lace because we're going to want to pluck the hairline before we start this, and we don't want that sucker moving. So we're just going to use these pins. So I'm going to put like a little triangle right there to make sure it stays nice and sturdy. Okay. So now we're going to use the tweezers that we have. Now these tweezers are a little sharp, so you have to be careful. You don't want to go in and go like this because you'll poke a hole. So you want to use it on the flat edge. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly grab some hairs and we're just going to pull it out. We're going to widen up this a little bit more and we're going to give it a deeper part. Give the illusion that there's a hairline there. Goes more than the surface. Okay. So now that we zoomed in real quick for you, we're going to start with our plucking of the hairline. Now, as I said before, you don't want to go straight down. You want to kind of make sure that you're going using the flat edge. That way you're not poking a hole through the cap. Hopefully I do this correct. How do you think I'm doing so far? Let me know in the comments. That would be great. Okay, so now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and just comb it out a little bit so I can see what we have. Get some of that loose hair out. I didn't go too deep or too wide, but I did just add a little bit more. Hopefully you can see it right here. We'll cut in right here. Jessie's gonna cut in for you because she's doing this. So let's go with cutting the lace.
Holy crap, okay.
So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use the hair ties. Oh Lord. This is why you always drop stuff. Oh my God, I feel like I'm covered in spider webs. So we're going to take this clip. We're just going to take this and we're just going to put it back like so. So we're getting rid of it. And I'm going to use this on this side as well, just to get it out of my way. So we're going to take one of the hair ties and we're just going to grab this hair. We're just going to put it up, you know, just get out the way. Just get it out. There we go. And then they do like this thing when they like twist it and then you put it in like a bun and you go like this and then you have like that sloppy bun, neat bun thingy going on. All right, I'm going to come this way right here. We see where the hairline is. We want to get as close to it without actually getting it. We don't want to mess up the hair. So we're just going to come a little bit closer right here. All right. Ooh, that's so close. That's so close. Ooh, that was close too. We're just gonna come right in here. We're gonna get this. Ooh, boy. Now I'm going to come on this side and I'm going to cut. If you saw in the speed through, I was like coming in and cutting different angles. The best way to do this is to do it one long cut. I'm not used to that, but I'll make it better. So we're going to take these clips. We're going to move them to the other side over here. We're just going to clip this hair back. Now we have this whole side exposed. I'm going to remove this clip. And I'm going to start right here. I'm going to give it a little tug. So this is good. I'm going to switch hands. I don't know how this is going to go because I'm right-handed, but let's see. We're going to try to go this time all the way across. Okay, so now that we're done with that, the lace is cut off. We're gonna go ahead and just brush this out, make sure we get all that extra hair that might have fell off. Anything, make sure we're looking good, looking great. I'm liking it. I don't know about you guys, but I would totally wear her. We're gonna hide the knots with some concealer. We're gonna grab concealer that matches your skin tone and a pencil brush. So now we have some concealer right there, just a little bit. And we're going to flip this bad boy inside out. And we're going to put concealer on the other side. So now that we're on this side, we can really see this area right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and like fill it in right here. Hopefully it looks nice and easy. We can hide those knots just a little bit on this side. All right, so now that we have that there, we're going to flip this back over, rub it in here. You want to make sure that you get it nice and even throughout. If you got makeup on the hair, you can always take like a makeup remover and hit it. That's how you prep a wig for wearing. Jessie's going to put this on and then she's going to critique my work.
All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at this wig that Stanley, prepped for me to wear. So a couple of things I will say. He did a really good job as far as following the steps. I did have to redirect him a little bit because he was going to do some crazy stuff with the concealer before he cut the lace, which I always recommend cut the lace first because there's no point in putting concealer on a bunch of places that you're going to be cutting off anyway, and you can really see where you want that concealer to go if you've already cut the lace. But as far as like doing the concealer, he did a great job. Plucking, he did a really good job actually. I was very surprised. He plucked a lot of hair without really taking hair from places that it didn't need to come out of, and it looks pretty even. The only place I'd probably pluck a little bit more, he missed a little bit right here in the front where that triangle place is that I usually recommend you do because it just helps kind of blend the hairline into the part. But otherwise, the plucking looks really good. The concealing, again, very good. He did it backwards. So usually I recommend you would go in here in the front and the bottom first, and then take your hands and rub so that you're not using too much product, and then go over with the concealer on the top if you feel like you need more. But a lot of times you don't, and you tend to get that issue where he had to kind of take the makeup remover and remove some of the extra makeup because he just had a little bit too much there. So I always recommend doing the inside of the cap first and then flipping it. He did the rubbing, which I usually always say to do, which was great. It helps blend it together. And then you can hit it with that little brush if you need to. But a lot of times you really don't usually have to do it again if you do it really well on the inside of the cap. The cutting is probably the only part I would say he needed a little bit of help. And some of that just has to do with the fact that he's not used to, you know, how should you hold your scissors? There's a lot of factors that go into that. There's actually reasons why I recommend you start at the ear and work your way up and then stop in the middle and then continue to start in the middle and go, because he does have kind of two different lines happening here. So I am gonna have to come on this other side and cut the lace back a little bit because there's more lace, like the hairline comes out further on this side than it does on this side, just because he was really not cutting it as one whole hairline. Instead, he was doing it in like those little sections, which you saw. You also wanna make sure when you're cutting this, the best way for me to explain this is when you're cutting wrapping paper, how you can almost get a really nice cut and it's just this nice smooth line. That's really what you're going for. You don't want to kind of hack at it because you're going to get like all these little like teeth essentially, and you get these little jagged pieces, which he did clean up, but again, there's still just a couple places where I see them. But as far as the cutting goes and everything, he did a good job. Like he said, you can leave some of this extra lace here on the sides if you like to glue down your ear tabs. That's what they're called. And you don't have to. That's totally up to you. You can also cut more of this lace and hair off if you have a smaller head circumference. If these are hanging in your ears, you can always cut those off as well. I tend to leave them because they usually fit me fine. And then as far as going with cutting, he did a really good job. Follow the hairline. You don't want it to be perfectly straight. You just really want to avoid all those little just jagged extra pieces because they can fray. And that's really what you want to try to avoid. And then you also want to kind of take your hand, if you are cutting right into that hairline like he did, and kind of just go like this and pull, because he does have a lot of little knots here that don't have any hair attached because he cut that actual hair, but the knots are still there. So you can see these little black dots. So I would just remove those because they don't need to be there because they're not holding anything onto the wig. But it looks really, really good. I'm pretty impressed. The only thing I'd say is I'm surprised you didn't use as much like proper terminology, because I feel like you have to listen to that a ton when you're editing my videos, but not too shabby. Another thing you also want to make sure you do is I recommend taking your hands or a really wide tooth comb and really hold the wig like this in your hand and go through it, because there's still going to be a lot of hair that you're not going to realize you didn't get out with the brush. So you just want to make sure you get all that out of there so that you're not shedding that when you wear the wig. I'm gonna go ahead and throw her on real quick.
So I hope you liked this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so we can, how the hell do you guys do this? So we can get to 5,000 subscribers so we can have that giant wig giveaway. It was fun making this video. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, see ya.
Wait for your face.
Wait for your face. I got the damn thing.
Wait.